Keith Lee spot.
He's the Keith Lee fireball spot. Will Ospreay falls through a bathtub. I was literally crying.
It looked like a tap to me. He went 1, 2, 3.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a new podcast. With myself.
Nay. Well, come on. What do you mean? Welcome back to a new podcast. This episode 1, baby. Locked up. Let's go. Episode 1 of Locked Up. Welcome to the podcast, bro. It's Henry Berger with your boy Donovan Ryan, who hasn't uploaded to his podcast in 4 months. You know the deal. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
The two of us are starting a new wrestling podcast called Locked Up here, where we'll talk about, little things that happen in wrestling, and then we'll go through the shows. So we're going to start. Henry, you want to do our first little segment here?
Yeah, our first segment is not about wrestling. Matter of fact, it's about where I am right now. So I am in Philadelphia, right? I live in Baltimore. Because, Baltimore on my jail anyway. You know the deal. So I'm not home right now. I am... Bro, you're on the other side. I'm on the other... Whatever. So we met at a place called a play-by-play sports broadcasting camp. Not sponsored, by the way, but if you are getting into broadcasting, podcasting, whatever, that is the place to go if you are our age of Unk. Specifically you're Unk. But that being said, what's funny is, we got an Airbnb here today, and I was like, you know what, there was a TV out there. I was like, I'm going to go into the YouTube, because I have nothing better to do. I go into the accounts, and it's like John Smith, whatever else, and then I see DSPN with Donovan Ryan. This was the same Airbnb you stayed at last year when we met. I had no clue.
Oh my god. He calls me, so I'm in the middle of, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was starting to eat my dinner before this. He goes, hey, so, funny story. I go onto YouTube, tells me this whole story, and I'm like, so I think we're in the exact same Airbnb you guys were in. So our first big wrestling thing, we have a little thing called Let's Get This Out of the Way, where the two of us have both picked a piece of wrestling news.
Bro, don't mess it up.
But it's, just a little thing that we've come up with where it's just, we'll have one piece of news. So mine is that WWE is reportedly preparing to...
I have to hydrate.
Is preparing to sign Zilla Fatu, which is insane. Which means that the bloodline is getting even bigger.
Well, no, it's not technically getting bigger when you think about it, because we just fired, half of them.
They're gonna. I guarantee you, they throw this guy with Roman Reigns immediately,
Definitely
off rip.
Possible.
That, or they're just gonna put him in NXT, which I'd personally love to see Zilla Fatu just run rampant at NXT, especially because NXT definitely need more male stars right now. They're what? They have Dark State, Tony D, Mason Rooks, and Naraku, and the Vanity Project, and that's kind of it. So I'm really excited to see Zilla Fatu. Fightful Select said that WWE's current plan is to sign Fatu if he hasn't been signed already. Zilla was at the Performance Center recently and was going through some processes to prepare for the signing.
Well, let me get this out of the way, and it has to do with Fatu's as well, specifically Jey Uso, because if you are not following Jey Uso's Instagram, you are missing out on a peak life experience. Bro, this was from 2 weeks ago.
He posts Instagram stories like he's a little kid going through his first breakup.
This guy, 2 weeks ago, I'll still run it back if Jesus were in the ring. I don't care who it is.
Dude, he posted earlier after Night of Champions. It just says, wait a minute, didn't Ova tap out?
Yeah, it was just wait, he tapped. I have screenshots of all of his posts. Let me see.
Mega event Jey Uso too.
It This guy thinks he's gang. No days off, always in the streets. This one, like, and then
Jay,
this one was today. Back in the streets. Oh no, back in the States, still in the streets. I still won. Crown emoji. Like, dude, what are we on about at this point?
If this guy pulls up to Raw and says he's the actual king of the ring, I think I might lose it.
Internet's most hated. Devil emoji with the cinema hands.
Ugh.
Yeah, that being said, though, what I wanted to talk about along with that was the state of Jey Uso's career right now. There's a lot of hate going around from him, but there's also a lot of support from the fans in the stands at all of the events. There's so many
mostly
things.
People on Twitter who just complain about everything.
That
are hating on him.
That is true, but like at the same time, for the most part, I'll put it to you this way. It all started with Yeet is cringe and whatever, which is like, bro, just have fun, you know? But like, the more it goes on, the more I start to understand it, right? He drinks a lot. He's not always sober when he's on camera, you know, kind of like my father was before he left anyway. That being said,
oh, my bad.
people really did not like him winning the title off of Gunther, which in a way understandable, and I understand with the tap out thing. But I remember when I watched it, I was super happy for him. I liked the idea of him doing the tap out, but there was one thing. Gunther tapped out like immediately.
Yeah, I thought that they would have Gunther like actually try to get out of the hold or at least struggle instead of immediately going into said chokehold and just, referee on.
Yeah, exactly. And that kind of ruined, first off, the reality of it. And this is not me degrading Gunther as a wrestler. I'm not saying I could do any better, bro. He's, you know. But that being said, when you look at every time that Gunther has put a sleeper hold in since, that Jey Uso has put a sleeper hold in since, they've put up more of a fight. And I feel like after that incident happened, people were thinking like Jey Uso's run is a fluke. Is that a fair thing to say, that that's when things started to flood in about not liking?
I would say it's more of, I think it's partially that. I think it's also when he started to run the entrance back. I think is also part of when it started to fall, because I think people just thought that he's just doing too much. Like, I think it was a lot of people just saying that, Jay, you're doing way too much right now. What he was doing on the way to WrestleMania 41 when he won the Royal Rumble, all of that, great, loved it. He was doing completely fine, wasn't overdoing anything, great. But there does come a point where you just where he goes just a little too much into the realm of, all right, now you're annoying.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
the only people that could really get away with the I can do this, like I could do as much as possible without getting annoying. The only person I could think of that could get away with that are R-Truth and Danhausen. That's it. That's all I could think of.
Yeah, because like you have to be charismatic to be funny, and Jey Uso's trying to be serious. If that's what you want to consider, like his Instagram stories and whatever. I'd still run it back if Jesus were in the ring, bro. I can't get over that. But I mean, I think another thing that should be mentioned is, or I guess what I should say for myself is, I started recently to feel that same feeling that some other people were saying. Once he started bringing in a new, very forced catchphrase, the Siobhan shot, bow, like, it feels like he's trying like a little too hard to be cool, but also stay PG.
I feel like that's not a Jey Uso kind of catchphrase. Like, I feel like that could have worked better with a different person. I don't know who that different person is, but it's not Jey Uso.
Mm-hmm.
For a fact. Because when he does it, most of the time it looks corny. It looks really corny most of the time he does it. Now now on SmackDown,
and that's
he did
what
it
I
a
was
couple
about.
of times and actually did it and looked good. Like when he did it, goes, Cody, you get one. Sammy, you get one. I haven't talked to you guys about this. But Gunther, you don't get one because you know it's going to happen. That makes sense. That fully makes sense. But when you do it to a guy like Obafemi, who is standing in front of you, who is a foot taller than you, outweighs you by about 300 pounds, it's not intimidating when you do it to a guy like Oba. But to Cody or Sammy, yes, that's believable.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to get to, was his segment on SmackDown last week was when everything turned for me. And I mean immediately. And people want to talk about the promo. I want to talk about the entrance. And I know that sounds weird because he does the same entrance just about every time. But I swear he walked out with more confidence. He had a huge pop from the London crowd. And I feel like seeing everyone in the ring just like turn their head and just like have that slight amount of shock on their face of him coming out on SmackDown and not Raw, and then him come out with that slow stride with the glasses on and everything. That was the most aura that he has had in multiple years. Probably since Backlash. That Backlash entrance.
The Backlash in France.
Yeah. It gave off that energy. Like, it's been a while since I've seen an entrance and just was like, oh boy. And I was not expecting
the only
it to
person
come
that could get
him.
that for me. The only two people that could really give me an entrance who's like, uh-oh, this is going to be big, is, John Cena, because he's John Cena. But if we're talking currently, the only person I can think of is really Oba.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, because he just looks, because it's just insane what the crowd does. I mean, maybe Trick a little bit, but Trick usually isn't coming out to actually fight somebody. That's usually coming out to talk trash. And I love Trick. That's not a bad thing to say about Trick. It's just what he's doing at the moment.
Yeah. And to speak, let me finish what I have to say about Uso, but really the only thing I have to add is just he was great on SmackDown. He put on a good match with Oba, obviously didn't win, and obviously that's a good thing because goodness, the internet would not have.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, exactly. But Jey Uso has been looking great recently. The one thing, and realistically, probably good for a booking decision, but they were teasing a heel run for a long time and then just kind of dropped it. And I think that's also part of the reason people are mad, because they wanted to see. Because they thought he was going to go heel. They thought. I thought he was going to go heel. I wanted to see him go heel for a brief time, right around when he lost in the John Cena tournament. And then he was like looking on in the ring in disgust that I think it was LA Knight who beat him. That's when I was like, he has to do something, and then nothing came of it. That's when I started to lose interest.
So, on Monday Night Raw, we started off with a promo with Logan Paul, who is for some reason back, even though he just tore his tricep. So good for him. He's not wrestling, but he's there.
Greatest return of the century, by the way. I think we can all get that out of the way. Well, everyone says it. The Bleacher Report says it. Okay, no.
Yep, there it is. but and then Street Profits interrupt. And now we go right into a tag match, where the Vision, which at this point is just Austin Theory and Braun Breaker, face the Street Profits for the World Tag Team Championships. Later in the match, Rollins attacked Breaker. Distraction allowed Ford to roll Theory up, and we have new WWE World Tag Team Champions.
You are missing one slight detail from that.
There is a return in here that I didn't say.
Yes.
I was hoping you'd pick up on it, because we didn't say his name, but he did appear. Joe Hendry is back.
That is true. That is very, very true. And kind of random, but it makes sense with all the Vision stuff.
It made sense. That was the last person he was feuding with.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, great match, great story, and the correct outcome by far. We needed to see the Street Profits with the title again, especially, bro, if Montez Ford can hold the titles until his baby is born, that's great.
Yeah, and especially because of the fact that the The Vision are half crippled at the moment. To the point, well, Breaker cut his eye open. He'll probably still be fine. But Logan Paul is done for a while. Bronson Reed we haven't seen in God knows how long.
Yeah.
Austin Theory is Austin Theory, and they don't. I'm this close to giving up because they're not going to push him.
I wish they kept doing more with the Austin Theory doing ad libs during all of Logan's promos. Do you notice when he'd be in the back and he'd just like repeat what he was saying? I wish they kept doing that.
Oh my god.
They did it for like 2 weeks
like
and it was so funny.
Boys. It's like two frat boys.
Yeah, it was so funny, and then they dropped it when no one caught on. And it was annoying because I saw it and it was funny. But anyway.
But it was the correct decision to have the Street Profits come out with the titles there. It sucks that it had to that the Street the Vision has like crushed all fall down like this because it's a cool faction. Like those are 4 really good wrestlers that I do like.
It's a cool idea, but it's not as much booking's fault as it is just injury. There were injuries left and right, and that's reality of the business, and there's not much you can do about it. I thought
that they would have just, if they were going to pull the trigger on the Street Profits, I don't know why they didn't do it at Saturday night's main event.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry.
But I think that was probably a last-minute pull because of the injury to Logan Paul.
Yeah, you might be right about that. You're right. That makes a lot of sense because they needed the time, and either way, they got the titles. That's what matters after all. In other Raw notes, arguably the biggest moment of Raw, besides the Profits, Lyra Valkyria is heel.
I am so happy about this.
Yeah,
I am so happy. I saw Lyra Valkyria drop the title in at the Stand Deliver before WrestleMania 40. I really like Lyra Valkyria, and I'm so happy that they're finally doing something with her again, other than just sticking her in a tag team with Bayley. I just feel bad because every time Bayley gets in a tag team, her partner always turns on her. So I'm starting to think Bayley's definitely the problem.
Well, you can't say that she wasn't. And the reason I'm going to say that is, well, not just that, but the whole point of them linking up at the beginning was that Bayley was having this split personality gimmick, which I predicted even though obviously you didn't see this, but I have a notes thing on my old phone where I predicted stuff, and my prediction was that they were going to drop the gimmick randomly.
I don't think anybody caught on, really.
No, it was big for a few months, and then it just kind of faded away. And then now Lyra's the heel. Really, what should have happened was Bayley be the heel, but that being said, I think this is going to work better for Lyra in the long run. As long as booking does everything correctly, this should go perfectly fine. And I don't want to say I'm really happy for her because, she's heel, but I'm happy for her taking this new step in her career and taking on a new character that she hasn't taken on yet. Another Raw headline, Chad Gable tried to apologize, did apologize, and
failed miserably.
Yeah, even the Luchadors, with all of this history going behind them, forgave him for disrespecting the entire culture, but his old friends, it was a no-go. Even Otis.
I also really like the fact that it was that the person that was said no, it wasn't Otis, it wasn't Tozawa, it was Maxine Dupree. Which I think was I thought was a really nice touch to that.
And she cut a hell of a promo.
Yeah, she did. It was a great promo. But I really like the fact that instead of picking Otis and Tozawa, they decided instead it should be Maxine. Because they could have just had Big Otis do it, and Otis, it would have been, predictable, but it would have been fine. They weren't ever going to have Tozawa do it. I love Tozawa, but they weren't going to have Tozawa do it. But having Maxine do it and it also furthers her possible involvement with Austin Theory could be, because we've seen that teased a little bit. Will they probably drop it because they're WWE? Yeah. But I would like to see that going forward, even if that means a Maxine Dupree in the Vision, which would be interesting. But wouldn't that make Maxine the first female Paul Heyman guy?
No, because Becky Lynch was in the Vision for a few weeks.
You're right. But I think that was technically but she flat out said she wasn't a Paul Heyman guy. Multiple times during that.
Because she was like, I'm independent. I'm not a Paul Heyman guy. I'm independent because the Bleacher Report says I'm the best wrestler and ESPN says...
Exactly. So would that make Maxine the first Paul Heyman woman?
Here's the thing. By definition, Becky Lynch still would have been a Paul Heyman woman. She was just saying she wasn't because that's her character. If Maxine goes full out, she'd be the first, true Paul Heyman woman, from what I know.
So, quick fact check. Paul Heyman actually managed Alundra Blaze, also known as Medusa, in the 90s, so we were wrong. That's about all I got.
And finally, in terms of Raw news, probably the biggest news that we've had in the entire world all week, Danhausen is running for Prime Minister of Britain. I mean, put your votes in. I think he's better than Boris. That's all I'm gonna say. I think he's better than Boris.
I don't think anybody's better than Danhausen. I think you should vote for Danhausen, or you're gonna get cursed. So we start on NXT. They announced there's a double contract signing at the beginning of the night. Wade Barrett is back on commentary. Booker T is not there. So we started off with Aaron Rourke and Alan Angels for the Evolve Championship. And Wade Barrett says on commentary during Tristan Angel's entrance, he says, and I quote, "I like highly attractive men." Which is... Wade, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what Wade is doing on commentary, but he was on one today. Usually Booker's the one to say the crazy thing, but it's
nothing crazy to say, bro. It's June.
Yeah, good point. Aaron Rourke was very good in the ring. Someone, presumably Shiloh Hill, tried to take Tristan Angels out of the ring. Aaron Rourke hits the Molly Go Round, 1, 2, 3, retains the Evolve Championship.
Whoa. Peak viewing.
It was not a bad match. I like the match.
No, obviously it wasn't. It's just Evolve. Then
we get into probably the funniest moment of the night. So Naraku is outside, while Tony D'Angelo is just very angry, trying to find Naraku, and he finds him in the parking lot. Naraku hands Tony the contract, opens it up, fireball.
Keith Lee spot.
The Keith Lee fireball spot.
Let's go.
Dude, he started doing that, and I literally looked at my television screen and just started dying because I saw the fire. I was like, oh,
I'm not
there was a Spider-Man Spidey sense moment. It was so
just
funny.
like your first short on your YouTube channel.
So Tony D leaves in ambulance, as one would after getting fireballed. We cut to the ring where we're getting a great promo from Saquon Sugars, and we get a really good promo with Saquon Sugars and
other Dark
Dion Lennox
guy.
And Dion Lennox. And then we get a really cool Tavion Heights Miles Bourne vignette, which I just like Tavion Heights in general. Then we get a Birthright match, Stax and Uriah Connors versus Hank and Tank, which I think it's really funny that Stax is in Birthright. Who is the only reason he's in that faction is because he's dating Ariana Grace, and it's hilarious to me because he has zero nepotism.
Stax has had such a weird career.
He has.
So far.
He was international champion in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
He was champion with Tony D. Then he turned on Tony. It was Heritage Cup champion until they quietly removed the title from TV. He never lost the belt, but they never used the belt at all. But I And then, so now he's just in Birthright tagging with Uriah Connors. God knows what Charlie Dempsey's doing in that group. He's just kind of standing there. He hasn't done a thing since joining that group. He turned on NQCC and has kind of just been a hype man since.
Yeah, right. He
just kind of stands there in the corner and does this.
Bro thinks he's part of the team.
He literally just stands there and does this. Like he's debating getting involved. So Hank and Tank win because of Matt Matthews or whomever that guy was.
Is a TikToker.
I don't know who this guy is, and I'm the TikToker who's currently online.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel bad as someone who let me just like look him up on Instagram or something.
He was on the panel for the NXT, well, the Mr. NXT thing the week before, but that's really the only appearance he made before that. So I don't really know the guy at all. Then we go into a Shiloh Hill. Well, I thought it was a serious promo. Then he did the laugh. We cut to Tony D in the hospital, who is still looking rough. Mm-hmm. Lola and Kendall have their contract signing with some pretty good promos, and surprisingly, for a contract signing, they don't fight. Which has never happened in a contract signing.
That's a good. Well, I'm sure it's happened at some point, surely.
But like every time you see a contract signing, they always flip the table. Someone goes through it. They start fighting.
You know why that is too, right? Because WWE likes to book it as the main event of SmackDown all the time, and it's
for no reason at all.
Yeah,
it's always the main event, and it's dumb. Lola and Kendall have decent promos in there. Then we go to Keanu Carver versus EK Prosper. Great match. EK Prosper hits a springboard Rough Rider in this match, which was really, really cool. I thought that was really innovative. I've never seen that before. Yeah. Somehow EK Prosper rolls up Keanu Carver, gets the win, and then Keanu Carver proceeds to attack and murder him.
Okay, I don't know about murder, but that being said,
he put him through the announce desk, tried to kill him.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, Prosper is looking great. I frankly, I have no clue if this has already happened, but him and Javon would tear the house down.
That hasn't happened yet, unless it happened on the Indies, but it hasn't happened yet in WWE, and I'd love to see it. Mm-hmm. So if they do another NXT Homecoming,
that would be amazing.
Then we get on to the beginning of a horrible night for the Culling.
Oh goodness! Here we go.
Izzy Dame is in the tournament of the Speed tournament finals for with Ariana Grace for a shot at Ren Sinclair's title. Ariana Grace rolls up Izzy after Shawn Spears asks for a high five.
I low-key forgot about that.
He literally goes, high five! And he's like, go hit your roof. It's like, God, what is this?
I was gonna say, because like the rest of the day, the rest of the day was probably more important for the history of the faction than that. So I completely forgot that even happened.
And then the Calling, which is I don't even know the other guy's name. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
But they lost their match, and then they got mad at Shawn Spears and threw him through a table.
Legacy, which is a great team. I love Dorian Van Doo and Sheldon Legacy. And then the Calling turn on Spears, put him through the announce desk.
After they...
So which means we're getting face Shawn Spears, so he better bring back the 10 gimmick.
No. Nah, at least chairman, like.
And now we go to Naraku and Stone, who has a face-to-face. Naraku says that there's nobody there, so just hand him the title. Mason Rook shows up.
Oh, Mason Rook!
Says that he thinks it should be a match between those two. Jackson Drake shows up, said it should be a match between Naraku and him. Mason Rook and Jackson Drake just keep brawling all the way to the back. Stone said it was never Mason Rook, it was never Jackson Drake, it was always this man. Tony D comes out with a very heavily bandaged up face.
Yeah.
And stands tall over Naraku.
Somehow.
Until tonight for Great American Bash, which I haven't watched, but I will watch later.
My theory is he went home, he cooked some pizza or pasta, you know.
How many Tylenols do you think they gave that guy?
How many, sorry?
How many Tylenols do you think they gave?
Oh, goodness.
He must have had, like the whole bottle.
Yeah, they probably just said, knock yourself out. And just like, you know, you do what you want. We're not responsible of what may come of it. And yeah, and then he goes out and he whips ass. So that's all that matters.
So, and now we go to Dynamite, which we open up with a Death Riders promo. They're all in the back, and Will Ospreay falls through a bathtub. Goes to sit down, like they do this like thing where they jump in a circle. They're all like this, and then Ospreay gets dizzy, sits down, and falls through a tub. And you can tell him and Daniel Garcia are trying really hard not to laugh.
Well, yeah, but also that sounds so funny. Ospreay getting dizzy. Him, the one who's spinning around doing all this,
doing the crazy stuff that he does.
Him
the good
dizzy?
Is he falls through a bathtub.
William Howard Taft style.
It was like this just big metal bathtub that it looked like you would wash your clothes in, back in the 1860s. But it was really funny. So then we go to Death Riders versus Brodito and Mystico. Mystico, who has a great theme. Claudio Castagnoli is just doing push-ups on the outside of the ring for no reason before this match. He's just for zero reason. They have a decent match. Claudio hits Brody with the belt. 1, 2, 3, gets the win.
Yeah.
Average Death Riders stuff.
Yeah,
great match though.
Just about. Yeah, it was good, but that's what heel faction, heel wins.
Marina Shafir then faces Harley Cameron for to qualify for the TBS Championship Survival of the Fittest that had Sheeta, Statlander, and Persephone already qualified. Where this is Shafir attacks her before the bell, and Shafir actually has shoes on, which is funny because Marina Shafir never has shoes on. And then we come back.
Honestly noted, I just want to clarify for everyone at home, I'm not nearly as knowledgeable about AEW. I had no clue about that until you just mentioned it.
It was because the week before she got her feet slammed through glass.
Oh,
which makes sense.
That could be a little bit of a problem.
That would make me want to put some shoes on.
Probably, yeah.
And then we come back from a television commercial. Her shoes are gone. Her shoes are gone. And then Harley reverses the rear naked choke, rolls her up for the win, and qualifies for the survival of the fittest.
Yeah, I probably was.
Yay, Harley Cameron, who was in Supergirl gear.
Oh yeah, I remembered that because they were advertising that the whole night. Yeah, it was good gear, but they were advertising that the whole night.
Yeah.
Supergirl.
Then we have a really cool match between Ospreay and ELP. A lot of high-flying moves in that. Great match. Ospreay wins after a hidden blade, as expected.
Which was brutal. That was the one in the back of the... Yeah, that was ooh.
So, Swerve comes down for his match, which is next, has a little stare down with Ospreay. Daniel versus Daniel Garcia, who is walking in from outside in full gear, which is a little funny. But also, Daniel Garcia is awesome. I love him. Fellow New Yorker. Really physical match. Ospreay hits... Swerve hits a powerbomb power slam that looks like something out of an M. Dickey game.
You know what? You're right. Ospreay and Swerve look similar. I see the difference. I see it.
But Swerve hits a hidden blade.
Oh, yeah.
Swerve that hits a hidden blade to the back of Daniel Garcia's neck. And then he gets the win by pinfall. Swerve tries to attack Garcia after the match, but then Will makes a save until Nana grabs his leg and Swerve hits a house call. Then Swerve tries to go for a vertebreaker on Will Ospreay. Garcia saves him, and Garcia gets hit with a vertebreaker. The Don Callis family MJF promo, and this was funny. Okada says the thing, says the B word again, because of course he's MJF has a really funny line that I wrote down. He said, "The gap between you and me is bigger than the gap between your teeth." That's a great line.
Say, but can we talk? I don't know what, and this is part of, I'm guessing, what you were getting to, but the disrespect that Andrade is getting from the group. Not to mention, is this part of them taking a shot at WWE, talking about how they respected him?
Partially, but also that Andrade was the one that took the pin last week. And then and also MJF's just the scum of the earth.
MJF is MJF. I'm just saying that he got interrupted by.
I also thought it was really funny that they made Roppongi Vice leave the room.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
There's like, what are you guys here for? Get go. And then MJF pulls out the stupidest T-shirt I've ever seen. It's him and Don Callis this.
That's right.
With their faces photoshopped onto these massive oiled up bodybuilders with the sun in the background.
It was just like MJF and Callis united or whatever.
It was really funny. If please sell those AEW, please sell those.
Bro.
I'll buy one. I will buy one for Henry over here.
I'm Henry.
And then we've got Jack Perry versus Zack Sabre Jr. Pretty good match. Very technical. There was a package powerbomb.
Oh yeah,
there was a package powerbomb. That was pretty cool. Zack Sabre Jr. taps out Jack Perry. We go right into TDMK versus Young Bucks. Bucks get the win pretty easily with a Meltzer driver. Bucks get attacked by TDMK after the bell. Kenny makes a save with Jack Perry. A little bit of war of words, and then Zack Sabre says, "Kenny, try to stay out of the hospital, darling," which is kind of funny.
Call from Dave Meltzer. That's a 5-star match.
Yeah, literally a 5-minute match. Probably Dave Meltzer's gonna give it 5 stars just because they're the Young Bucks. Yeah. Then begins Tekla versus everybody in Stardom vignette. Red Velvet versus Queen Aminata. I didn't have a lot of match notes for this. Aminata wins, qualifies for the survival of the fittest. The Dogs and Copen Cage are brawling during a Young Bucks promo.
Oh,
David Finley pushes Edge/Cope pushes David Finley into a wall.
Yeah.
While he's in a wheelchair.
and he just I remember that spot.
He just hits the wall like his head actually hit it.
Yeah, he jumps up before to get his shoulder in there.
And then the Dogs end up standing tall while they choke Copen Cage with the cables. Finley was wearing something. I don't know what that was. They were these goggles that came up here and then they just went back up over his head.
I don't remember that. You talking about these?
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
That was crazy.
Looked so funny on him. Then we have a really good main event with Takeshita and Ricochet. Takeshita wins. Bald. Great match. I feel bad for you. You couldn't watch the full thing.
Yeah, I had it on recording and I watched almost all of it and it was great, but then the recording cut out right before the final pin, so I didn't get to see who won, but you told me.
Takeshita wins. Mark Briscoe comes out, is talking because he's the main event of Forbidden Door. MJF comes out and attacks Briscoe from behind after Don Callis distracts him. Everybody comes out one after another, starts brawling. Jake Doyle / Jake something looked massive. Like, she looked huge.
I missed this, but I believe you.
MJF and Andrade are beefing. MJF tries to go for the diamond ring to Briscoe while Andrade is holding him. Briscoe ducks it. Bam. Diamond ring to Andrade. Jay Driller to MJF. And then the show goes off the air. Next, we go to TNA, who do a really good job at the beginning of the show recapping what happened.
Yeah, they always do much better.
I like that they do that. AEW, WWE don't do that. I really liked how TNA do that.
The thing about WWE is their promo packages are always like drawn out so far to the point where
they're real long.
Yeah, and it's just like highlights of like Cody Rhodes saying, "Oh, we'll beat you," or whatever, and then it's just body slam, and it's like whatever.
It's like, yeah.
TNA does the injury report and everything. It's a lot better.
Yeah. So we kick off with you're frozen.
I'm frozen.
Just on my screen. Oh, you're back. So,
hey!
So we kick off with the Broken Hardys. Matt Hardy said the Righteous needed to change us, and they also said that he was Broken Matt Hardy version 1. Which was kind of funny.
A little bit confusing, but that being said, I do want to add off of that, the match they had, I forgot what they called it again, but the barbed wire...
Broken
Broken Garden match. Probably most underrated match of the year across all promotions, in my opinion.
That was a very good match. I really liked that match. Speaking of the Righteous, the Righteous interrupt, and they are getting booed heavily.
Yeah, fans didn't take lightly to everything.
Yeah, and they were also getting what chants, which always suck. We all hate what chants.
Yeah, boo.
The System interrupt. Bear Bronson has a pretty good promo. They say, "What are you gonna do about it?" Then a brawl ensues. Jeff has a massive ladder in the ring. Jeff climbs it, and everyone runs away.
Yeah, everyone runs away.
And Jeff can't do crazy stuff. Jeff's on top of there, like, what the heck, guys?
Yeah. I want to, before we continue, I'm so, well, did you have anything else to say about this segment specifically?
I was just going to say that right afterwards, the Great Hands were added to the tag title match at Slammiversary.
Okay. Yeah, of course. That being said, I just wanted to mention, and I was going to mention this about that Broken Garden match. Jeff Hardy sold the Lily of the Valley spot so well.
That was really well done.
That was like...
He acted like he was dead.
Well, and not only that, but like possessed. The way he was like actually stumbling in the ring, it looked like he lost control of his body. It was amazing.
It was like very scary. Like it was really well done.
Yeah.
Really well done.
It was perfectly done. Anyway, continue with your rundown.
So next we had Ash by Elegance versus Mara Sade, which was one of my favorite parts of the night. So Indy Hartwell is on commentary.
Probably most entertaining segment of the week from any promotion.
Yeah. Before we get into it, I just want to point out that WWE definitely fumbled Mara Sade. But so Indy Hartwell's on commentary and called her a mark, and the crowd starts calling Mark. Yes, starts chanting Mark at Ash by Elegance. Ash by Elegance throws a little, like a 5-year-old kid temper tantrum because she's being called a mark, which I was literally crying in my watching this. I'm laughing so hard. The crowd is just going, Mark, 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 and she's like, she literally goes on the floor and starts kicking.
It was like Vicky Guerrero style.
So she says that she's going to take another mental health break, which was also very funny. And wants M by Elegance to take her spot in this match. Which she does. M by Elegance is not in gear, by the way.
Yeah.
She's just in regular street clothes. So the match starts, Elena Black comes down and is just chilling on the ramp for some reason. Like she's just there. I get she's feuding with Hartwell, but she's just doing nothing.
Like you couldn't have put them both on commentary or something. She's just like,
yeah. Heather lays out Hartwell. Elena lays out Indy. And then Elena Black attacks Marsha Day. DQ. Brawl ensues, and then Allie and Rosemary make the save. And I personally still think of Allie as the bunny, but I didn't watch a ton of TNA.
Yeah.
But I am happy to see Allie back because she was. Much. We hadn't seen her on any television since like 2022.
Yeah.
When she was.
When you say that, since I know that you only started watching TNA again recently.
Yeah.
The teasers that they did for Allie coming back was you remember when they did the Bray
Those
Wyatt?
I did see.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I was just making sure that you knew that like the bunny thing was kind of incorporated with everything. Yeah. Which
their tag team name is now it was like I think it was Rose Bunny or something like that from earlier. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I did just watch it. I didn't write notes for it, but we'll and then so then we have an Eric Young vignette where he says, "I don't have anything against Ricky Sosa personally." Liar. You lie. You lie, Eric Young. But I hope Ricky Sosa gets done well in TNA. I like Ricky Sosa.
I do too.
Not just as an entrance. I've watched the match of his before.
I was gonna say if anything, I like him more as a wrestler than his entrance. I think his entrance is slightly overrated, although I understand the hype in a way. Just not my sort of cup of tea. It's not for something like with the crowd. It's not that high energy, but it's whatever. Yeah, like it's fun.
Then we have an AJ Francis squash match, and then there's a promo on the screen for Elijah. Elijah gets fake crowd noise for this promo.
Yeah, which was I think that's the thing is looking back on it, it didn't make sense. I have a feeling it was just a mistake in the truck because like there's the crowd noise didn't even make sense because it was just like it wasn't like cheering or booing. It was just like random miscellaneous like talking, and it just kept looping every 2 seconds. And Elijah's just staring there intense with the microphone, and it's just for the crowd.
A lot in that TNA show, I felt like it was getting loud and then it was getting soft.
Yeah,
like multiple times during the show. That the mixing was a little weird.
Something was a little bit off about the audio, which is something that we'll end up talking about with Night of Champions.
And then Elijah says that his name, image, and likeness was on the line at Slammiversary after AJ Francis took it. Mm-hmm. Then we go to Xia Brookside versus Harley Hudson, who Harley Hudson really likes the color pink. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I couldn't tell. Her entire gear was pink. Her Titantron was pink. Her hair is pink. I couldn't tell. I think she likes pink a little bit.
It must not have been that bright pink though, because I guess I just didn't notice. Because I mean,
it was just a very small,
just a little bit, pink. like a little dash of pink and everything. Yeah. I would never have guessed that. It was not
my favorite match though. It was not my favorite match of the night.
Kind of whatever.
And then Xia wins with the Dark Side DDT, attacks Harley after the bell. Lee makes a save, but Xia leaves before Lee can even touch her. And then we get the TNA injury report. The only thing on there is Ash by Elegance is actually going to take a mental health break.
Yeah. I just want to add to the Xia Brookside thing, just an update since Slammiversary just happened as we're recording. Xia Brookside is now the Knockouts champion. So, title change.
Which I did like. If we're going to go through the title change stuff, then we already talked about the Hardys. The Hardys won their belts back. He wasn't on the show. Mustafa Ali Mustafa Ali retains his title against a returning Witch Swan and a debuting Uha Nation, which is Apollo Crews. Which apparently that was his Indies name before
I guess.
WWE.
And if that's the case, then like I won't disrespect it. But like, it's weird to hear something like that when you know someone for so long, right?
Yeah. Like I thought they'd go with like, I don't know, Aries Cruz or something. You know, they'd use a different,
just like something different, like a first and last name that's different. Uha Nation, whatever the heck.
So we go to the World Title Summit. Then we go to the World Title Summit, where we have a fantastic promo by Mike Santana.
And Nemeth, but especially Santana. Yeah.
Nemeth also insults his daughter and dead father like he's Christian Cage.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say he pulled the Christian Cage on him.
He pulls the Christian Cage. Who's at my door? Okay, never mind.
Might be Danhausen.
Mike Santana says, "Hey Carlos, cash or check?" And then immediately starts attacking Nick Nemeth, which does not go well for him.
No, not at all.
Nemeth gets involved, gets destroyed. Then Nick, off the distraction, slams Mike's head onto the belt and leaves.
He has to go to the hospital, we think. And then
we think.
We get to that later, but...
Yeah. Moose has a promo. Says, just like your wife, payback is a...
I forgot about that. Payback.
Which is a fantastic line.
Yeah,
great line.
It is crazy, especially after, like, you know, what we said earlier about Nick Nemeth insulting the kids and everyone else. Now we got a wife thing. Like, everyone's getting insulted for their families.
Yep, so Eddie Edwards comes out, says that JDC and Moose were a cancer to the system. Alicia wants Moose to spear her. Moose leaves the ring. Alicia calls him a coward. Moose tries to spear her, but JDC stops him. And then the segment ends, which if we're going to update now, Slammiversary happened.
More Moose chaos.
Moose beats Eddie Edwards, and I want to talk about this because this is kind of funny. So Moose is zip tied to the ring, and so his wife and Moose's wife and daughter jump the barricade, and you know Alicia Edwards goes to attacks his wife, and then as Eddie Edwards is about to attack his son, low blow by Moose's son, and then Moose starts hulking up. Rips through like how Jacob Fatu ripped through the what was, oh my goodness, I just handcuffs in the cage match against Solo Sikoa, just like gets the win after Alicia Edwards throws in the towel. Then we get a Ricky Sosa vignette, which is just pretty much just a response to what Eric Young said earlier. Then we get Casey Navarro, Leon Slater, and Fabian Aichner versus Frankie Kazarian, Mr. Elegance, and Cedric Alexander. Mr. Elegance being a very weird gimmick. I'm not a massive... I don't watch a ton of TNA, but...
Yeah, like, I totally get it as a weird gimmick, although in terms of the faction, it makes sense. And
yeah,
I think
he kind of looks like He-Man.
Okay, well, but anyway,
he does.
Okay, but still, with that gimmick, I think something that should be mentioned about it is the fact that he's undefeated. I believe he's still undefeated, right?
In one-on-one, I believe so.
Yeah. When it comes to the way what just flashed?
My light. That was weird. Alright, well, whatever.
We ball. It's fine. Alright.
Yep, we up.
Alright. Run it back. So, when it comes to the gimmick, once he takes that first loss, I have a feeling it's going to be because of him. Because
it'll be
of this
the goofball.
Yeah, because of this whole like privileged faction that are like trying to be all, you know, I mean, we saw, I don't need to say anything about it. We saw Ash by Elegance. Like, that's all you need to know about how this faction runs. It's going to come down to him doing something that screws himself up, something selfish, something whatever. And that's what I do like about the gimmick, is that we're just anticipating that moment this whole time.
Yeah. He was also running in place waiting for a tag, which was kind of funny to me. On the apron. The other note I had on that match was, other than the fact that match was nuts, was how did WWE make Fabian Aichner a jobber? He's so talented in the ring. I don't know how they made that guy just a jobber.
Hold on, because not just to mention a jobber, but a jobber to who? Apollo Crews.
To Uha Nation.
Uha Nation, bro. Like, that is a new level of low. He returns to... I think there must have been some sort of backstage politics or something with him.
Yeah.
Because how do you return, then finally Apollo Crews gets a match, and then he's squash it? Well, I don't really want to say squash because it's roll-ups, but like...
I thought it would have been the other way around. I thought they were just going to have, at the time, Giovanni Vinci just beat Apollo up. But,
I mean, maybe.
So, Kazarian rolls up Leon Slater for the win. I'll just update now. Those 6 people were in an Ultimate X match with the Amazing Red, who was, after the match, inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame, which he completely deserves. And then, but Cedric Alexander retains because the Amazing Red and Leon Slater were having a tug of war for the belt. Leon rips it away from Red, they're both hanging above the ring. He rips it away, and it's dangling from Slater. Cedric, who is hiding the whole match, grabs it and runs away. And is the winner.
Whatever works. Whatever works.
I guess good way for a heel to win.
Yeah, right.
And then in our main event spot, Nemeth has a medical update on Mike Santana, who is in the hospital, we think. Nick Nemeth does sound a little bit like Shaggy. Just in the promo a little bit.
I must not have caught on to that.
He said that Santana won't make it to Slammiversary or back to wrestling business, so just give him the belt. Nemeth gets thrown out of the back with a half-off shirt as a bloody Mike Santana emerges from the back.
Yeah.
They start
just
brawling.
like, and I just want to mention,
very similar to Tony D.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to say, was when we went over NXT earlier, that's when it started to strike me like, whoa, those were 2 different events. Because it kind of felt like the same exact, I don't want to say same exact, but...
And the fact that it's like the same hair and beard as well makes it look just more, just as much similar.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Santana looks really cool as the show goes off the air. I think Santana's looked much cooler because he wasn't all bandaged up.
Mm.
Yeah, I think if they would have just let the burn marks be, it would have looked just as cool.
Maybe, although I think they also wanted to add a little bit of realism of him actually getting the medical care or whatever. But so, TNA had, besides the audio issues, a very good event.
Very good show. Very good show.
And then final show was Smackdown.
Yeah, so I couldn't watch this because I was at work, so I watched most of the highlights. So Trick and Ricky had a pretty good promo. I like the fact that he called Lil Yachty the Peanut Gallery.
That was funny, but if you don't mind me taking a moment before it gets off topic, with Lil Yachty, I think he is, besides maybe Jelly Roll, the best celebrity interpolation that we have had in WWE in a while. Because
are we counting Logan Paul?
Well, either way, for a while, I meant in like the last 2 years. So
okay,
Logan Paul obviously is like the best celebrity wrestler
Yeah.
of all time, besides like maybe some other names. But
I don't.
when it
One
comes
of
to
my
Lil,
favorite celebrity wrestlers is Bad Bunny. He killed
yeah,
that.
too. Yeah, of
He
course.
killed that.
He should come back.
But continue.
But anyway, when it comes to Lil Yachty, he seems like a legit manager. He seems like someone, he acts well. We'll get to it later, but at Night of Champions, him selling the ejection spot and everything was great. Everything about him, and he matches with Trick so well. He, with the kendo stick, he gives me the slightest vibes of Teddy Long. And I know that sounds crazy, but like, if you think of it, you it makes sense. I really love.
The next thing was Yachty is very good at talking. Was my next point.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I love. Well, I mean, he's a rapper, so he has to be. But that being said, I love that mix, and I feel like some people would be upset about him not just taking his 15 minutes of fame and then leaving. Like, he should have just done that, whatever. But I like that he's actually staying committed to this whole thing instead of taking this quick bit of fame and leaving like Travis Scott did. Like, who else could be mentioned here? A random thing to say, but Eric Andre, because he got attacked on Raw. Like, I just really like what Lil Yachty has been providing to all of these storylines.
Yeah, no, I think Yachty has been great in his role that he's had for the last couple of months. I think he's been really funny. Yachty's been really funny on the mic. And then the next thing is we have Cargill screwed Tiffany Stratton and Alexa Bliss. B5 Meechin win a tag match. Chelsea saves Tiffany and successfully, might I add, this time.
That's a good point because she tried in the past. Chelsea and Tiffany is such a strange, but it makes sense for it to work.
Yeah, no,
I still wish that Ethan Page joined the Secret Service. Just saying, but
that could have been funny. I'll add another one in here. Speaking of Chelsea Green, Danhausen and Cardona beat Berto and Angel versus via an inverted Danhausen DDT after a ring post curse.
The ring post pyro.
And Kittenstein that helped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kit Wilson had a chair shot that he put in.
He did.
Right? Yeah, he
had a chair shot.
Did a full chair shot while being, for lack of a better term, under the influence of being electrocuted. Of Danhausen. They couldn't even make it up. They couldn't make it up the steps. Yeah, the streak in Miz's hair. And
Danhausen and Kit has one too.
Yeah, Kit has one too. Yeah,
it's hilarious. I think that's so funny.
Mm.
And then
everything with that has been going great, as absurd as it is.
You texted me about this match. Ray Phoenix beat Nathan Frazer in a fantastic match.
Oh yeah,
that match was crazy.
Let me yap for a bit, bro.
Go right ahead.
It was really. There's not too much to say besides amazing, like lucha libre type stuff. This is what you would see on AAA. Go watch AAA. It's amazing. All the PLEs, all that stuff. The biggest concern for me, bro, Nathan Frazer with that dive to the announce table. I was really scared because that reminded me of the JD McDonough spot. The broken ribs and the punctured lung. And like when he just went face first into the table, I was like, oh my goodness. But that just adds so much more to this match of the physicality, the high flying. And Nathan,
I really badly want to see how fast a match between him and Breaker would be. Frazer and Breaker going at it. Just the two of them. I don't care if you throw them in a speed match. That might be the way to go.
Yeah,
because that would be crazy.
Wait, hold on though. Surely they had a match in NXT.
They had a tag match. They've had tag matches when you had the
who was Breaker tag?
The Baron Corbin.
Yeah. Sorry.
The one match I saw live, he literally is going so fast across the ring. Yeah, in the Stand Deliver 2024. He literally runs so fast into the ropes where he literally moves the ring about a foot.
Yeah, he does that.
You can see it visibly shift on television.
It is insane. That
if you haven't seen that clip, watch it.
I've seen him do it to other rings. It's crazy. Anyway, this ain't about Braun Breaker. This is about Nathan Frazier and Ray Phoenix putting on an absolute classic. And I'm glad. Something that I really like about Michael Cole is that he mentions when a match is a classic. Like he'll say blah 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 won in a classic. He mentioned it here, and I'm glad he did, because that just puts like an extra, the cherry on top. Yeah, like I should mention, along with the Broken Garden match, this is another contender for underdog match of the year.
Yeah. I'll just go to this because we already talked about BFAB Meechin versus Tiffany and Alexa.
Yeah.
Cargill beats Chelsea Green, jumps her after the bell. Tiffany and Bliss make a save. Baddies come out to attack them in a 3v1 jumping situation. Jaded to Tiffany. Yeah, well, yeah.
So stupid.
And then we had LA Knight doesn't trust Solo. He says it multiple times in a promo.
Yeah.
A pretty good promo by LA Knight.
Well,
as always.
Yeah, I was gonna say as always. It's just that like he's keep going with this bloodline stuff, and it's just like
he's trapped.
Final match with Bray Wyatt, by the way.
Yeah. Paige beat JC Jane. Good to see Paige back. I love Paige.
Yeah.
Julia beats Kiana James, and Blake Monroe debuts, attacks her, and uses a new finisher, which is the neutralizer.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know why I didn't even pick up on that. But first off, Blake Monroe, pretty big pop for a debut.
It was in London too.
Well, yeah.
It was in London too.
That tracks out. But like, I feel like a lot of times with NXT debuts, some people just don't catch on. That was different. That was a very different debut, and you could tell even as a heel, like she started to smile a little bit because she was getting into it and all that. That was great. The only thing that I have to say is I do think it takes away a little bit from the whole Julia and Kiana James thing, because that has been going on for about a year now, and they're finally getting this match against each other. For, an interruption after a typical Julia win. Oh, wow, that's actually not typical.
And I want to see Julia actually get pushed a little bit more. Like, I don't want to see her just chilling in the U.S. title division.
Well, she's not even in that anymore, really, when you think about it.
Well, she's in limbo. She's in the middle.
Yeah, but either way, not only that, I want to see Kiana James get a push. And she already kind of... I guess I shouldn't say a push, but I guess more appreciation for what she did during her brief push at Elimination Chamber. She was amazing in the Elimination Chamber.
She was very good in that match.
And it's just crazy to me because I don't know if I saw her wrestle maybe at all before then, because I didn't watch NXT at the time, and she was just managing.
Well, I saw a little bit in NXT, but she's more of a person that you're going to see more in a promo spot than you will in a regular match.
But guess what? It shouldn't be that way.
But she
is amazing in ring. Yeah.
So, and then that was... I do think that Blake needs... I think personally she just go back to using the Mayday as a finisher that she used in AEW, which is just the Michinoku driver off the shoulders. But like, either that or keep using the or she could keep using her glamour shot, which is just the double underhook DDT. But I feel like either way, neutralizer's cool too.
Yeah, I'm just thinking
so it just everybody knows. Hey, wait a minute. That's Cesaro.
That's
Cesaro thing.
Yeah, you're right. But I guess the thing is just some people, or not some people, but like some wrestlers may want to change it for safety, for longevity, whatever. I don't remember all of her moves. I don't remember which one's safer or whatever. But I'm sure there's a reason for it. Or maybe it was just a one-time thing where she wanted to try something new. I have no clue.
I do like that Michael Cole said gotch style and then stopped himself because I think he thought she was going to go for the pile driver. I thought she was, for a minute, as she got her up, I was like, is she going to do a driver for a minute?
Yeah, right. I mean, she wasn't...
Like, oh, neutralizer is cool too.
I'll put it to you this way. She wasn't going to do that with the London crowd on her side.
No, you're right. But Julia would have been the one to be like, hey, could you just pile drive me instead?
Well,
like,
got a point.
Julia would be the one who would take the move.
Yeah, she crazy.
So then we have the thing that you saved Jay's push. This end segment. Jay does a couple
Best
of those
promo of the last 3
Jay
years
has a
from
great
Jey Uso.
Jay has a fantastic promo, does a couple of the This Yo morning shot. Cody, Jay, and Sami then beat up Gunther. And then Oba comes out and stares down Cody and Jay, who are standing. Gunther attacks Jay and Cody, stares down Oba. Sami hits Gunther with the belt, stares down Oba. Crossroads to Sami, Oba enters the ring, and as Cody's about to pick up the title, Oba stomps on it. And then Let's Go.
Next to it, but yeah.
And they both lock eyes, and it's a really cool stare down to end the show.
And they have unfinished business, which is what Cole mentioned from the John Cena Saturday Night's main event. Yeah.
Then we get into Night of Champions, which, if you thought TNA's audio issues were bad, this was worse. Michael Cole has a Timu mic.
Like, yeah. Hello! Hey, welcome to Night of Champions, everybody! Let's go! Hey, Open Femi making his entrance. Whatever, you know the deal.
He's got the Call of Duty 2010 mic. This is
where Captain Spring and all.
It's exactly that. It's worse than my old mic.
And the best part is for people who didn't see the show, that's not the worst of it, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah. So we have the King of the Ring finals, and Oba is over in this match. The crowd loves Oba. Oba wins by pinfall, which a lot of
energy for any of the women's matches.
Yeah. You could tell Oba tries to smack the ground a couple times while he's in Jey Uso's sleeper hold, and people think that he was tapping, but I think if you're tapping out for a sleeper, it's got to be here. Me personally.
I mean, I don't think it should matter. If you're talking about like realistically fighting, it's just wherever because you're just trying to say, "Hey, I'm gonna die." You know what I mean? But I mean, some people, including me, a little bit, thought it looked like a tap to me. He went 1, 2, 3, which is like you'll see people like hit it twice or whatever, and they won't call it. But usually, when you see a ref in WWE or any other promotion call a tap, it'll be after like the third tap or so, and then they'll just be like, ring the bell. But, as we mentioned earlier, Jey Uso is going to keep going on about this on Instagram. So we'll have to see what WWE does with this. But either way, I'm super happy. I don't remember if you mentioned it.
The one thing about this made me a little angry because I started learning something. Why don't any of the King of the Rings actually put the crown on? Cody didn't do it. Gunther didn't do it. Oba didn't do it. Just put the crown on.
Io did it.
Io did, but like the Queens of the Rings, they do it every time. Like, Nia did it. But the Kings don't.
Cody does the same thing with his belt where he's like...
Just holds it. Like, but you're... you wear a belt, or you put it over your shoulder. You wear a crown. You don't hold a crown. That's not how that works. You're supposed to put it on your head.
Yeah, right. The belt's like a different thing because it can be whatever. The point is, then I don't think you may have mentioned the end of the match yet, but Oba ends up metaphorically squashing Jey Uso. I don't want to say squashing because Jey Uso put up a fight, but he didn't get enough offense in for it to even be close. He just kind of let the match go on long enough.
The match was done in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, we'll put it to you this way, yeah. But super happy for Oba. as much as I have mentioned that I'm excited to see what's next for Jey Uso, contrary to a lot of other people, I'm still glad that he did not win. So, right decision. Not much else to say about that first match at the Night of Champions.
Next match. Before that next match, we got an appearance from Danhausen, who is very happy to be in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Big pop from Saudi Arabia too, which kind of
big pop
I
for
know
Danhausen.
I shouldn't say this because Danhausen has been on a tear recently, but I was not expecting that big of a pop for him. Because, you know, a lot of times Saudi Arabia crowds can be like heavily favored toward like the biggest stars and not as much the little guys.
He got the second biggest prop of that night.
Yeah, probably
with number one
under
being Sami Zayn.
Sammy, and then, you know, Cody and Nova, of course.
Yeah. Then Liv interrupts him, says Danhausen owes the Judgment Day a lot of money. Danhausen curses her, Liv slaps Danhausen, and we start the next match.
Also, I'm surprised that they didn't do anything about, like, Dominic getting upset at Liv for trying to flirt with Danhausen on Raw, like, a few weeks ago. I thought it would be really funny if they turned that into a storyline because, you know, Dom cheated on Rhea and all that. And
that would have been funny. Hey, why can't I cheat?
Well, yeah, right. That would be absolutely absurd. Also, just want to mention, Dom cheated on Rhea. Anyway.
Yeah.
Continue.
And then we go to the Queen of the Ring finals. Io has some super cool gear on.
Yeah. Unlike some other wrestlers, and we'll get to that later.
Io's knee had Io's knee on the stairs where it buckled.
Yeah, and she was well, I don't want to say she was selling that the whole time because I don't know if it was selling, but
if it was selling, it was very convincing. Which I think probably was,
that being said,
very good.
It's Io Sky. We know how convincing she can be.
Yes.
But either way, in terms of storyline, whatever you want to believe, the knee was a big factor in that match, and Liv kept going back to it and back to it and back to it.
Io wins by pinfall and is the Queen of the Ring. She actually puts the crown on.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it does sound kind of funny that I'm talking about Liv was beating up on Io, and then you're like, okay, so Io wins?
The first match we had after the Queen and King of the Ring matches were a 5-star match for sure. Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins in the steel cage. Awesome match. Probably my favorite match of the week.
Bleeding the hard way, by the way.
Yes, so Rollins, I think, is allergic to bad gear. I think he's allergic to having gear that looks bad.
Probably.
Braun Breaker has gold gear on, which is pretty cool. They start the match both sitting down across from each other in steel chairs, staring at each other, which was really cool.
It gave me the vibes of when Seth Rollins was in the ring with Punk at the beat. What was that? Oh, sorry. I just saw something fly in front of the camera. Anyway, when he was in the ring with Punk in the, I think it was another steel cage match, right? Because that's when Roman returned, and they were looking at each other, flipping each other off, and whatever. It was very.
That was
similar.
Solo and wait, no, you're right. You're right.
I'm
right.
And
then we had Braun Breaker said something kind of funny in this match. He literally just straight up tells Rollins, "You're gonna die."
Yeah, I was wondering about that because I was seeing that. I was like, dude, like I get it. Like, it was like you guys have beef, but like you arguably don't have as much beef as, let's say, well, maybe on the card, but like. In the company right now, there's probably some other bigger beefs than that where they're not going that crazy on each other. And he's talking about threatening his life.
Punk and Seth didn't even go that crazy on each other.
Yeah, they were flipping each other off. They didn't say we were going to kill each other. You're gonna die!
The only person I think threatened the other man's life, I think Drew McIntyre probably said he was going to kill Punk at some point. But...
Maybe, and then like any New Jack match. But then like besides that,
And then so Braun Breaker scales the cage. Rollins goes back up, and they have this suplex from the top of the cage through a table, and Braun gets cut bad right over his eye and just starts gushing blood.
And that was bad. But what I noticed first from that spot was Seth Rollins also got some cuts on his back from the table splinters as well. Which
those tables seemed very splintery.
That's what I was going to say. Was that for... this might sound weird, but I didn't look close enough to see if there was a Slim Jim sponsorship on it. But
I didn't see one.
You didn't see one? Okay, so I'm wondering if maybe they did the wrong table.
Or they were allowed to bring the Slim Jim sponsor over.
Oh, Riyadh. That's right. Okay. Hey, Riyadh got something right with that. Let's go. No more Slim Jim.
Yeah. Braun Breaker starts begging for mercy and then does his thing.
And then just dies. Dies with Rollins a great stomp.
The top super stomp.
Yeah.
And 1, 2, 3. Great ending for that match.
Great ending. I will say this is a match where it's tough to say who was supposed to win. And you could argue, and I saw a lot of people argue, that it's going to mess with Braun's momentum. I think in the long run it won't, but I do understand why people would say, he's this big up-and-coming star, and then he loses to Seth, and it's like, eh.
So if I'm WWE, I give Breaker a feud he actually wins, like a big high-name feud. Like I'm saying, like you have Punk come back. Like if you have Punk come back, I would actually have Breaker win a feud over Punk.
Yes.
Or
that would make sense.
I would have him immediately challenge Sami Zayn.
That's
who we will get to later.
That's an idea. I do think Oba's gonna win that, but
or he goes for Roman. You don't know if I think Oba should go for Roman.
Yeah, I mean you could say that.
In that match, you could have Brock screw him if you really don't want Roman to lose.
Yeah, right. Anyways,
because we haven't gotten the trilogy. But next match, Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams.
Yes. Which Lil Yachty got ejected in 2 seconds because Ricky Saints did
he did the Eddie Guerrero thing.
Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, why did I blank on the name?
Yachty is very angry at this point. And did a very good sell of it. Yeah. Great sell from Yachty.
And we were talking about that earlier, but Lil Yachty just once again showing that he belongs in this spot.
Yeah, Ricky pulls off an inverted Sister Abigail-like move in this match, which was super cool. Like, he has it like he was going to do an inverted DDT and turns it into, like, some sort of flatliner.
Isn't that... Maybe I'm stupid, but I thought that was his finisher for NXT.
No, his finisher was the Tornado DDT.
Well, he was doing that. He was doing, what... Yeah, Rochambeau. I thought that's what that was.
That's like a Dominator. That's like a Dominator.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember. All right, my bad.
Yeah. Trick wins with a trick shot, retains the U.S. title. Mm-hmm. Ricky attempts to attack Trick after the bell, but Yachty is back. They jump him. Yachty hits a people's elbow.
Which was the best people's elbow by a rapper because Snoop Dogg's were ass. That's what
Snoop probably had the worst one I've ever seen.
Yeah. Imagine Snoop Dogg.
It looked like a people's elbow you would do to a stuffed animal on your bed. You know he practiced that beforehand.
Yeah, right. But Snoop Dogg, could you imagine being only the second best rapper to do a people's elbow on a WWE PLE? That's such a random thing to happen twice. And to say that you did it worse than the other guy? Come on.
Yeah. And then another thing that was super funny is that afterwards, Michael Cole just starts reciting part of Lil Yachty's Flex Up.
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't think I would hear Michael Cole sing any Lil Yachty.
He's trying to prove himself to Corey Graves and Barrett, who keep saying, you don't know anything about rap, whatever. And He's like, that's my dog. That's my dog. Whatever.
Yeah, that was
funny. That was a funny moment.
And then we get to the women's U.S. Championship match, which was pretty much just all Jade Cargill.
And before we get to this is what I was talking about with the ring attires, because what in the world was Tiffany Stratton wearing?
Yeah, that wasn't great. And also, Jade's entrance was probably the first time a Saudi Arabian person has seen snow.
Ooh.
There's probably somebody in that crowd who's never seen snow before, and they saw it in Jade's entrance.
Excuse me, you got a good point. The sparkle, yeah. Huh, I never would have thought of that. But that being said, do you remember what? I don't think it was Royal Rumble. I think it was the last Saudi event before that, whichever one. That may have been Night of Champions again, for all I know.
It was.
Okay. When Tiffany Stratton had the racing suit with like the blue stripe, the white, and the pink, that was like the best women's gear of the night. This year she had the worst of the night because she's just wearing pink and then this like taped on butterfly, which is trying to look like the other ones that she does, which are cool.
It's supposed to look like her regular gear, but it
didn't. It just looked like a 5-year-old made it for like a craft show. And then Jade's was fire, but
Jade's was great. I loved Jade's.
But anyway,
and then the match was all Cargill. And then Tiffany gets a little bit of an upper hand. The baddies come out. Chelsea Green comes out. Cargill's
Charlotte
not happy.
Flair comes out.
Charlotte Flair comes back.
Yeah.
Hits Cargill in the face with the title. PME 1, 2, 3. Tiffany retains.
And that's something that I have a bit of an issue with. And the setup is perfectly fine, but Cargill putting in so much offense on Tiffany, and then Tiffany just winning on one. I know it's her finisher, but think about it really. One moonsault.
Yeah,
one moonsault. And to Jade Cargill, this person they've been pushing as this big bad woman, because she is. She's strong as hell.
This lady lost one match in AEW. One.
Ever. Yeah.
To Chris Statlander, who is no joke. But
one moonsault.
One moonsault, really?
Yeah, okay. Now that I'm putting it in your brain, you're starting to understand the problem I have with that match. Because besides that, I get it. I think it makes sense for, Jade to lose, but I just feel like we could have had a little bit more action. I think maybe they're making up for ad time because TKO. Those ads were insane. They were like 4-minute breaks. But yeah. Excuse me.
So we go into a match that I don't think either of us had a problem with.
I'm sorry. I had some.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm good, bro.
You did?
Yeah, I'm good. All right, continue.
Chat,
is this real? Continue, bro. Is he frozen? Ain't no way.
Oh, we're good.
I'm frozen.
You were frozen just like half over.
No, you were frozen. Well, it was probably my internet, but it
was one of our internets. But we'll go to a match that neither of us had a problem with the undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn versus Gunther. Sami got a massive pop. Yeah, they finally sang Symphony No. 9, and someone threw a shirt at Cody.
Wait, did they really? I didn't notice that.
Yes, they threw a shirt at Cody.
I wasn't paying much attention during Cody's entrance, to be fair. I may have skipped through it because I was behind.
So Saudi is going nuts for Sami at the beginning of the match, and then Gunther just decides to ruin the moment and kicks him in the face. Cody hits a side effect in this match, which was pretty cool. There were a
lot of great spots, but
this tweener Sami that does everything to win, I like. This tweener Sami.
Yeah, but there was a few big moments, but there was one big moment that I want to mention at least. First off,
I was going to say that Gunther hits the worst splash I've ever seen in my life during this match.
That one too! That one was great! That's not what I was gonna say, but you're
I love
right.
Gunther, but he lands on his feet during a splash. Like he's Jey Uso, dude.
He does
he's
the
like
Cody
he's doing
style. He does the one of like Cody going off the barricade, but he's just doing it that lands on his feet, and then like Otis like caterpillar his way, but it's not as smooth as Otis. So I don't know why he bothers, because like I don't know why he wouldn't do like an elbow, because like since he's more old timey wrestling and whatever, that would fit the bill more. But man, I'd pay to see him do it 50 more times. That's all I'm gonna say. Best spot of the night, I don't care what you say. Sami Zayn sets up Cody on the table, puts the water bottle on the table, smacks it off. Smacks it off. Water bottle, puts it up on the table. Wah-wah. Just gonna keep doing
he had
this.
No reason to do that.
He hates water bottles, bro. I'm safe, thankfully. But
recycle.
Like, yeah. Oh, you have a bottle. Hold up. But I mean, he literally just. Oh well, it actually went on. I guess you have to be more skilled to do it. Apparently.
Observe.
Oh well, it's not supposed to hit you back. Yeah, just leave it to Sammy, I guess. But that being said, that was actually the best spot, because right after that back body drop, Cody goes through the other announce table.
No, that was Sammy goes through that announce table. Sammy
takes no. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Because Sammy goes for the package pile driver, and then Cody does the back body drop through the table. That's right. My bad.
And then Gunther power bombs him through the table, and during this, Michael Cole breaks his microphone.
Yes. And
so
that
Michael
was
Cole
during
do commentary, but
that was during the back body drop, because Corey Graves had to do the power bomb. He had to call that.
Mm-hmm. And he had like 2 minutes where he had to call everything, and then he just gives Michael the mic, and then they give Corey a microphone for the last like 90 seconds of the match.
And as much as I like Michael Cole, it really disappointed me that he didn't just like kind of. That would have been a good way to pass the torch to Corey Graves, because he's been amazing at calling AAA. He has been great on commentary there. And so if he could have called the end of that match, first off, that would have made the match even more special, because so much chaos, would have added a little bit more. But just, it would have been great. But instead, they're just like fumbling over the microphone. And Corey Graves is trying to help Michael Cole, so he's not really calling the action. He's just like, Sammy does this, and it's just 5 seconds of silence, and he's like, what's going on?
Yeah, you can hear Mike, and you can kind of hear Michael over here. You can sort of hear him just a little bit.
And then the camera pans to Gunther when he's outside of the ring, and everyone's down. At least I think it was Gunther. And Michael Cole, you see him going. He's saying, like, my mic is out, my headphones are out, and Corey's like, So yeah, he, like you said, he hands Michael the headset, and then I think what happened was that they tried to get the headset working again, and it was working, but Michael was super quiet, or maybe it was Corey, one or the other.
It was Michael who was super quiet.
It was Michael.
Corey just had to keep calling.
And then now he goes for the pin. And Corey's just like, oh my goodness, this was what like, it was crazy. But all of it leads up to...
So Sammy hits a crossroads. Gunther puts him in a sleeper hold. Cody goes for a crossroads on Sammy. There ends up being a double crossroads.
Yeah, the double crossroads.
Gunther goes back up. Well, I'm sorry, Cody goes back up, tries to put Sammy at crossroads. Sammy rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn is the WWE Undisputed World Champion. What a moment for Sammy.
When I see spots like those where it averts expectation, when it's not just, sets up another finisher. Oh, wow. Okay. I see what you did there. But sets up another finisher, and oh, wow, he actually did it, whatever. Sometimes those can build suspense, but sometimes when it's out of nowhere, dude, a roll-up win for the title in this day and age, that is insane.
I don't remember the last time I saw one. I'm actually trying to think. I think there might have been like a tag title win.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
something
I'm
like
still counting the 24/7 championship, but that
wow. I was gonna say because I feel like something happened, like maybe the women's mid card or something like that, but
yeah.
I don't remember exactly. But that was a great end to the match and very emotional moment for him. I choked up a little bit watching, and it was great match, great moment, great crowd for the match. And I will say, like, I'm not gonna say that I predicted it or expected it because, you know, I knew that TKO could fumble it.
How can you? How can you?
Well, but that being said, I was like, wait a minute. Sammy's in Saudi Arabia. This would be the time to do it. So
I was like, there's no way, right? There's no way.
Exactly.
And then it just actually ended up doing it.
It's like it never really occurred. It never registered me until he made his entrance. I'm like, oh, he's in Saudi Arabia. He's gonna win the title, isn't he? Because like, there's no way you can let Cody retain. Maybe you could let Gunther win, but Sammy was the right option, no matter what anyone tells you on Instagram or TikTok or whatever.
I like what they did because everybody was complaining about how stale SmackDown was getting. So they decided, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it. So that's the one thing is that I'm trying not to put hope, like, because I'm trying to be like, wait, maybe they could do this for LA Knight, but then I'm like,
but that's the difference is that this still benefits TKO because of the Saudi partnership. LA Knight wouldn't benefit TKO.
I mean, it'll help them with Slim Jim. If once their Slim Jim thing is up, they could just.
But then they're just going to give it to Uso.
Yeah.
Well, with all that being said, all that being covered, next time I will actually be back at home and we'll have this all figured out. But thank you for joining episode 1 of Locked Up. I am Henry H.R. Behringer. You can check out my YouTube channel here. And Donovan.
Ryan, DSPN, my stuff will also be in the description.
Okay, that was a smooth transition right there if I ever said one myself. All right, next week we'll cover about more of the same, but thankfully without Night of Champions, there probably won't be too much to cover, so we can just be a little bit more goofy.
Oh, we have to talk about Forbidden Door next week, don't worry.
Well, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's whatever. I'll be back home. I'll be happy, and then you'll just be here. I stole your Airbnb.
Yeah, you did see my Airbnb.